going Ganondorf for this very first game against Amaryllis, who has been kind of repping a lot more Bayo than Robin.
Amaryllis
Typically,
has been
depending on the
cooking with
matchup.
both of them, to be honest.
Oh,
Now,
yeah, for
Here's
sure.
a really funny thing about this matchup. In the last game, obviously, you know, we don't dive into the past history as much nowadays, but this was one of the near impossible, if not impossible, matchups of the last game.
Oh, yeah.
This one is hilarious because, sure, Ganon may have an excessive amount of damage that could get put on early, but also, Bayo can't kill now. So
Bayo also pretty light. So like a good 3 strong swings from Ganon are gonna send that Bayo flying out. That being said, though, Amaryllis' punish game is probably some of the best in the business when it comes to like Bayos, in terms of like high skill online Bayos. Like right here, we're probably gonna see F smash.
Yeah, like, you know, you make sure you go for the jab in that situation. That's a stock. Missing that tech there is always going to lead to that stock, not enough recovery on Ganon. But you go for that jab or the, you know, F tilt or anything at that point to make sure there's no hit stun that still comes from that dash attack. So very smart on Amaryllis. But we've also seen a few times where Mike has answered back in some of these positions where Amaryllis has advantage. So you have to be very careful. Also, that is a big thing that Amaryllis loves going for, is that forward smash at the ledge.
Oh,
if
yeah.
you are jump happy, you are going to get wrecked. So see how Mike handles it. Down tilt at the ledge, catching the jump off. Very good. Almost catching with the nair as well on the drop down, but no hit on the ADK there from the ledge.
That being said, we are seeing Mike, you know, come up with some answers here. Excellent avoiding the get-up attack right here just to nail that F-tilt right off there. I think he's starting to catch on that Amaryllis tends to pick the aggressive option a lot of the times when approaching. Oh my god, but yeah, get stepped on, my dude.
That's a scary spot, too, because, like, if you're Gan, it's like, okay, Amaryllis could just drop off nair if they, you know, if they're assuming that I'm going to go for a low recovery, so I got to go for early side B, and Amaryllis, you're staying safe there, a little bit, not so much safe there, but like you said, Amaryllis is a big fan of the forward direction towards you.
Oh, yeah.
So you always have to be worried that there's a potential strike coming in. Is there going to be a read on the jump? There was, but good job for Amaryllis staying out of range. This is Ganondorf, so this match is in no way, shape, or form over because the kill power can knock you out like around 50. So Amaryllis has to be very careful here with this upcoming stock. Make sure you get as much damage before you lose this one.
Ooh,
never mind,
yeah.
that's it.
You gotta watch her drift, and especially when Amaryllis loves to do that dash back F smash. It's so good for catching drifts in or just approaches in general. And he was definitely privy to that. And we did see some answers back from Mike throughout that set, but
yeah, it's such a large hitbox too, because like you cover landing, you cover a lot of ground control. And also you get people who are just a little bit too aggressive, and we're talking about this when it comes to Amaryllis' side.
Oh yeah.
So like the fact that Amaryllis was able to shut down the you know, a lot of damage, getting reversed in quite a few situations, and still not getting like caught off guard even after a couple of spots at the ledge. Playing very well. I wouldn't be surprised if we see a switch to Luigi, but to be honest, I don't even think Mike was playing that bad with Ganondorf.
I don't think so either, honestly. I think Amaryllis like is someone who thrives very heavily off of pressing the gas so early and kind of just smothers you with so much damage that he can't help but take the lead. Even when you start to adapt, it might be just a little bit too little, a little bit too late. And I think Mike was starting to catch on very, very slowly, but a couple of recovery options, drift and options that he probably wasn't expecting caught him, and he definitely ended up paying his stocks for that one.
Yeah, now, like I said, I agree that in regards to the fact that I don't think Mike was playing bad at all. I think Mike was playing very solid, but also Amaryllis was playing very smart in the positions you need to. When you're fighting against a character like Ganondorf, or really just like, I mean, the land of Wi-Fi is, you know, is the kingdom for the heavies, and you always have to respect them at all times because it's much harder to react. But we're going to see a switch over to the Luigi instead. You get a lot more off of aggressive approaches from someone like Bayo, who constantly holds forward because you get those grab strings. You have the retreat hitboxes like that nair in the fair, so you can already see Mike putting him out there, just trying to anticipate where Amaryllis is going to be, and it's working out much better off the start so far.
One thing Mike does have to be watching out for are these jumps in neutral. Bayo's main approach tool is pretty much that jump ABK in neutral. So once you start kind of catching yourself off, once he starts catching you on your jumps quite a bit, that's where the strings start to start. And Luigi's disadvantage, honestly, he does have that cyclone to get him out of situations a lot of the time, but Bayo's punish game is pretty lethal, and you're going to be taking a lot of damage if you let your guard down.
Yeah, Bayo actually one of the few characters that can successfully punish some of these punches. Great job covering with the guns.
God.
That's exactly where the matchup gets rough. When you are forced to go with the Luigi missile, or you're forced to go low, Amaryllis doesn't need to move at all until you go low, and then you just go down there, drop the nair, and then they have to actually tech. But what I was saying before is that because of Witch Time and even Bats within somewhat, Bayo is one of the few characters that could successfully force a Luigi off of using Cyclone out of disadvantage every single time they're in disadvantage. So you can, well, I think we'll definitely see that, but we're seeing a lot of what you talked about before. That jump ABK is really covering a lot of the options that Mike's trying to go for right now.
And I also just like Amaryllis' movement, not staying on the ground far too much at all. Wow, it caught the roll too. Wow, incredible F smash right there by Amaryllis. I'm loving the movement though, forcing Mike to go a little bit more forward than he might be comfortable with. Like, with Bayo, your advantage can turn into your disadvantage real quick, because when you think you have a punish in neutral and Bayo just slips just out of your fingers, that's the cue for her to either throw an ABK in the air or throw an up B out there, and then that's where the punish really starts to come alive. Plus, I love how Amaryllis has just been patrolling these platforms as much as he can, because Mike, when you're platform camping Luigi, the only thing that Luigi can really do is force an overcommitment by jumping.
Yeah, and now you're seeing here in this last stock too, Amaryllis is still pushing the gas pedal, but there we go, gonna land right in front of Mike there. But Amaryllis has been taking an extra second before he decides to jump or go for a hit now, because that's been getting Mike to jump early or throw a hitbox out. Just like that, you saw just empty jump in front of Mike, baiting the grab, as well as right there waiting for a potential fair or maybe a drop down down beat, Cyclone. It's been consistently working better. Oh my god!
That's it.
Yeah, that's it. You don't get a recovery after that. That is going to be a 2-0 victory for Amaryllis over Mike, cleaning that up.
Very clean, yeah, and kind of just Mike getting disposed of pretty early. Like, a lot of those stocks dropped super early, just given how good Amaryllis was at covering a lot of Luigi's recoveries. Like, he has to